Election day in November, but what will happen after the election? And in particular, what would a second term, if that man, featured right there, is reelected President of the United States?
Yeah, what would that look like? Joining us now is author of Fool Me Twice, Obama's Shocking Plans for the Next 4 Years Exposed. Aaron Klein, good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
All right, first of all, how did you get all this information? That seems like it would be information that the administration wouldn't want to just throw out there.
Actually, a lot of the people in the mainstream media could do just what I did, and that is that the very same progressive organizations and key activists who perfected Obama's first-term strategy. I'm talking the people who helped to write the stimulus bill, who helped to craft the health care legislation. They actually have been very hard at work at Obama's second term.
But that doesn't mean that they're going to continue those same pieces on the agenda.
It's not. I'm not saying that 100% every single thing in the book Fool Me Twice will be implemented exactly as is, but this will be the blueprint. This is the wish list for Obama's second term on jobs, on the economy, on immigration reform, on health care, on a whole slew of very specific issues.
Let's take some looks at some of the specific things you just mentioned. You mentioned immigration reform. You feel that if President Obama gets a second term, if he doesn't, if Congress doesn't play ball with him, he's just going to change the laws by executive fiat.
By both executive fiat and also through interagency directives. Like, for example, and we have these specifics in there. We're talking de facto amnesty for millions of people.
How would he do it?
Well, let's say there would be an executive order, for example, to identify a vulnerable population. And they actually define vulnerable population as, among several other things, including that anybody who contributes and who has a salary that then goes to the family and the family is dependent. That's pretty much every illegal immigrant living in the U.S. This, while, by the way, also taking away the border agents' ability to do their job, even specific areas where illegals cannot be apprehended throughout the country, including cemeteries, all sorts of other things.
Military cuts also, this is kind of frightening.
Yeah, and actually this comes from the same reports that informed Obama's first-term agenda specifically on the military and that already helped to slash the military in some massive ways. But that was just the beginning during the first term. The second term, we're talking about more slashes, up to possibly even 20% if they have their way, of the armed forces, of ground troops, of the Air Force. Sure. And what's shocking is that we have the actual specifics of what they might cut, like submarines, like even Obama's the president of the United States nuclear arsenal. But the savings, get this, would be used for a possible new green stimulus.
Well, of course it would.
Yeah.
Where would you expect that money to go?
Of course.
It's working so well.
And finally, on the campaign trail, and we heard it again last night with the